This is cringy. I don't really know. Like, if I do this thing, my friend's going to laugh at me. This doesn't look like a real business. When I started makeup, people were wondering why I went to pay money to learn how to rub lipstick. We all know that 9 to 5 is not for everybody. I mean, the long hours, the pressure, the queries, and answering to bosses, where does it stop? But we also know that entrepreneurship is definitely not for everybody. So here are 12 reasons why entrepreneurship is not for you. The fear of competition. We're all afraid of something. We panic a lot of times, especially if your dreams are big and what you intend to do is big. But one thing is to not let panic get precedence over your need and your drive to succeed. So instead of panicking, you should aim to collaborate instead. Try to find people who you are afraid of and try to learn from them and collaborate with them instead. If you find someone who you think knows how to do makeup and gele and you can only do makeup, you can either collaborate with them, you do makeup and they do the gele, and both of you share the credit and the success, as opposed to being afraid, because your fear is only just going to draw you back. Number two, you're a perfectionist. Perfectionism is a problem, actually. It can be a good thing if you want everything to look a certain way before you produce, before you bring it out, before you offer your service. But the problem with perfectionism is your work never gets done. Sometimes there is beauty in the mess of art. So you have to know that every single time, the hardworking, the consistent person, and the determined person will always beat the talented person. You might have the talent, you might be so good at this job. Maybe you're a makeup artist, but you don't want to post because your background is looking a certain way. You don't have certain lights, and you don't want to just make certain moves because it's not perfect. It's not, the standard that you would like. No, the person who is hardworking, determined, and disciplined is going to beat your talent any single day. So perfectionism, no. The need for external motivation. You're always waiting for something externally, like maybe someone telling you thank you, the money that they are paying you, and so many other perks that can make you motivated to get up and do your job. Those are things that do not drive an entrepreneur. Those are things that drive a 9 to 5er. You understand? Yes, the money is great, the thank yous are great, the feedback is great, but if you do not find discipline to get up and do your job regardless of things, entrepreneurship is not for you. The inability to handle risks. You need to put your money where your mouth is. Like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to be able to put up your own money. Even if you want investors, they need to be able to see your commitment. They need to be able to see that you are willing to put up money and you're not afraid to lose. You need to be able to remove that fear, because you're going to lose a couple of times. You're going to put your own personal money into that business a couple of times. I mean, when I started my makeup business, it was a lot of like my pocket money or me doing makeup for people and like gathering little bits here and there. I didn't pay myself for years because I was trying to gather money to invest into my business, and it wasn't until after like maybe 6 years before I started to reap something, before I started to gain some money and pay myself. Granted, I was doing this in a smaller scale. Your case might be different. You might start earning in a few months, but do not be afraid to put up your own money in that business. The inability to ask for help. You know that there's a skill you need. You're a business person and the world is moving. Maybe you started your business in the time where people still shared complimentary cards, and now people use more Instagram handles and LinkedIn handles and all of that, and you've not gone to learn and use all the resources at your disposal to get better, to know what it is like to use all these tools to do your meetings. You're just there in your cave instead of coming out to learn stuff. That's not going to help you. So you need to swallow your pride and ask for help. You need to find people who can teach you, and if you're ashamed to ask people in person, YouTube is always there for you. Inability to handle pressure. There is pressure in this business. There is pressure in being an entrepreneur. If you think that there's pressure in 9 to 5, yes, there is. But the crazy thing about being an entrepreneur is you are the one that sets the time. You are the one that sets the goals. You are the one that your boss will not query you. You will query yourself. You will be the one that will set deadlines, and you have to be the one to work to meet them, motivating yourself and being determined by yourself. Nobody is doing this for you. Nobody is threatening you. You're the one that is threatening yourself. You must be able to set SMART goals. And what does SMART stand for? S means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. All these goals or all these tips will help you to set goals that are really, really realistic, and you won't have so much pressure on yourself. The inability to sacrifice time and weekends. I know that as an entrepreneur, I've constantly needed to sacrifice my weekends and my nights. Sometimes I start creating content at 9 p.m. and I end around 4 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes my weekends are packed with a schedule of time to film and so many things to do. But if your boss at your 9 to 5 job asks you to sacrifice your weekends, you'll pout. You'll be like, I need time, like work life balance here. That the thing about entrepreneurship is you will work hard the first few years, and work life balance honestly hardly exists in an entrepreneurship world. And maybe after a few years of balancing, you get there. You care too much about other people's opinions. Like when you want to start your business, you settle down and think, this is cringy. I don't really know. Like if I do this thing, my friend is going to laugh at me. Or this doesn't look like a real business. When I started makeup, people were wondering why I went to pay money to learn how to rub lipstick. It was crazy, but that's why I didn't tell a lot of people. I think I told about two or three people, and I just went to learn. And after I learned, it took a few years before people came around. But what was most important was I learned it for myself. I knew what I was going for, and I did it for myself. So you might be, there to provide a service for people, but their opinions as to how you do your job and all of that don't really matter, because it is your job to get them to see your vision, not them to spell out your vision for you. You go about thinking entrepreneurship is a get rich quick scheme. Unless you come from old money or something and you have a safety net somewhere. If you are starting from scratch, you need to be ready to go back to scratch a couple of times, like I've said before. You're going to put in a lot of your money, and you probably start seeing profit of like minuscule profits. Like maybe you'll be seeing like 1% profit sometimes. Sometimes 0.5% profit. It is so little you can't even see it. And all that profit that you get, you reinvest it back into the business. Why? Because you need it to grow. After a little bit of time, you should be able to see results if you are following the right channels, if you are disciplined enough. And that will get me to my next point. You don't have a hold over your money and your finances. As an entrepreneur, your money, you'll probably be your accountant, your content creator, your manager, your secretary. You do all these things for the first few years yourself. But the thing is, managing your money is a very, very big part. All that money you're putting in, how are you managing it so that you see it come back out with a little something on top? Which leads me to explaining the little analogy. You need to know your income, what comes into your business. You need to know how much you invested in, and then you need to know how much you're getting out, which is your revenue, and then you need to know how much is your profit, which is what you gained. If you need an explanation about all these things, please let me know in the comments so that I can make a good specific video that explains this analogy of finances. You do not have a supportive partner or a supportive system. People in your life play a very, very big role. I know we like to say entrepreneurship or sole proprietorship is a one-man business. It's nice and all, but the thing is, you need people. Honestly, you need a network of people. And yes, strangers will become your clients faster than your friends will, and basically strangers will support you. But the thing is, at home, during all this pressure, the late nights, the weekends you are spending working, all the meetings you have to make and all the deadlines you have to meet, you need someone who supports you to be able to cover other parts of your life. You need someone who encourages you. Like I said, that extrinsic encouragement that we talked about, external encouragement that you need. If you are waiting for that, you might not move forward in entrepreneurship. But at home, somehow, if someone is constantly sucking your energy, you won't have enough energy to give into your business. That is where this kind of support comes in. Let's not play any games. We need that kind of support. The last one is you're not a problem solver. You started entrepreneurship because you thought it was something you could use to get money, or it was better for you not to work as a 9 to 5. You prefer to work for yourself. But you didn't think of what value you'll be adding to society, what problem you'll be solving for people. And then you get frustrated because you're like, I'm trying so hard. I started a business, but you didn't think of the market that was close to you. You didn't think of the market you could reach. You also didn't think of what you could do for them, because it's not about what you can gain. It's not about the money you can get at the end of the month. It's about the value you provide. The money is just an extra. The money is a result of what you give out. Do you understand? So if you are a makeup artist, you solve beauty problems, you add extra confidence to people. If you are a girly artist, you adorn people's heads. If you're a wig vendor, you add extra layer of confidence to people when their hair is not feeling so, put together. If you are someone who sells perfumes, you solve a confidence problem. People want their perfume to announce their presence. Do you understand? So if you are a business person, you need to find your why. What is the reason why you started this? What can you do for people? How can you serve? Because quite frankly, you might think that your 9 to 5 job is you serving your boss, serving the customers, and all those kind of things. But entrepreneurship is you putting every other person's needs, your customers' needs, above your own. And that is the ultimate service. So if you're not willing to do any of these things and more, entrepreneurship is not for you. If you have any other tips or if you have any other things that you can tell us in the comments that ruin the chances of entrepreneurship for people, let us know. Above everything that I've just said here, I want you to know that I'm not condemning you. Everything is learnable. Nobody was born an entrepreneur. People learn how to be an entrepreneur. People learn how to run businesses. You can learn too. You just need to incorporate some things into your life, some habits into your life, and you will succeed. You will. So please let us know in the comment section if there's anything you would want us to talk about in our next video. And if this helped you, please give us a thumbs up. If this pushed you in any way, please give us a thumbs up. And if you like content like this, please subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.